Grab a pen and paper real quick. This is not going to be one of these hour-long presentations. It should be less than 15 minutes, but I'm going to give you some good information, and you should have a pen and paper to take notes. So grab pen and paper real quick. I'll give you a few seconds, but I want to show you a three-step formula that's working really well to wholesale or rehab real estate in New York, so you can make a lot of money and get financially free. I'll wait a second so you can grab a pen. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, so imagine this scenario. What if you were regularly wholesaling or wholetailing, which we'll talk about later, one or two properties and making an extra $20,000 to $60,000 every month? What if you had the freedom to work when you want, as much as you want, and with who you want? What if you didn't have to worry about paying your bills, right? It sounds like a stretch, and I used to think so too, until it happened to me. In the past few years, I've gone from someone who literally couldn't afford groceries to having sold over $60 million of real estate via wholesaling, wholetailing, or rehabbing, all in New York. I've also used the exact same thing I'm about to show you to become the only person in New York that both systematically invests in seller direct properties and teaches others how to do it. The thing that got me there is a simple three-step system to get properties under contract and sell the contract or the property at a profit. Now, everybody knows that investing in real estate can make money if you learn to do it the right way. I think over 90% of the self-made millionaires in the United States got there through real estate. But in order to do it the right way, you need to follow a proven formula. In fact, if you're trying to wholesale now and you're not getting the results you want, it probably has nothing to do with you. And it has nothing to do with where you're doing it or your list of buyers to sell to, or how much money you spend on marketing, or even how much money you have to invest. Because at the end of the day, it's not about where you're looking to buy or even how many calls you're making to potential sellers. It's all in how you do it and what you say to them. And there's a formula for doing it right. And here it is. Step one is marketing to prospects, right? Your prospects, people that might sell a house, are bombarded with distractions more than ever before today. Your first interaction with a prospect has really 5 seconds to live before they make a decision. In the first 5 seconds, you have to grab their attention, and you have to try to keep them talking to you and answer some questions. And a great way to interrupt their pattern and get their attention is to get confused and ask for help. What this does is make them want to help you and not hang up, even if you're about to ask them something that they've been asked many times before from other people about selling their house. You want to be more not okay than they are. Now, why? Because it's hard to be angry or short with someone who's in trouble and needs your help. And this is how it sounds. You call, they answer the phone, and you go, "I'm really sorry, I apologize." It's the first thing you say. I may have the wrong number. I don't know if I have the right number. I feel terrible. I'm calling about 124 Main Street. And then they'll say something like, "Yeah, that's my house," or "That's my brother's house. Well, how can I help you?" And then you say, I may have the wrong number, but is this John Smith? At that point, they want to help you. They're not going to hang up. Most people are saying, "Hi, this is John from 123 Equity Partners. We can close in 5 minutes. Do you want to sell your house?" And they want to back out right away. You want to get confused and ask for help. And it has a tremendously strong effect for you or whoever's making calls to potential sellers. After the initial confusion asking them for help, you go into your script and qualify or disqualify them as a real lead. See if they're actually somebody who's motivated to sell. And if you stay till the end of this presentation, I'll give you the actual script for free that I, my virtual assistants, and my leads managers use to qualify prospects and make appointments, which sets you up for part 2 of the formula, which is what to say to a seller to get your offers accepted. They need to have a problem that you can solve. If they don't, you're probably not going to get the property. The trick is to keep the call or the live appointment, if you're meeting them in face-to-face, about them. Here are some simple tips. You got to ask a lot of questions and talk more about them than you. I hear new investors all the time get on the phone and go, "We buy properties for cash. We'll close in 2 hours." It's just stupid. If the prospect has a problem that you can solve, you need to focus on solving that problem or finding out what that problem is. Talk more about their pain associated with keeping the property than your ability to close quickly. Your entire appointment should ultimately be about them and their desired outcome, their picture-perfect scenario. Show them what their desired outcome looks like. I say to them openly, "If we come to an agreement and I buy the property, what does that feel like to you?" Then educate them on how you can help them get there. That's how sellers agree to sell their house for a discounted price and go to contract with you. Then it's time for step 3, which is selling the contract or the property. Now, every discounted property has a potential buyer if you buy it cheap enough. It could be a rehabber who needs a house to work on it immediately, or he might lose his contractor. He's got to give him a job, and he's willing to pay more for it because he doesn't want to lose his contractor. It could be a retail end user buyer who's okay with a house that's not perfect and wants to fix it up. There are plenty of buyers out there. Your job is to find them, or even better, have them find you. If you bought the property at the right price, this is going to be easier than you think. Now, you have 3 options as to how you make money on the discounted property. You probably know the first 2 already. The first is to assign the contract to another investor for a profit. This is wholesaling. You might have seen something about that on the internet. The second is to close on the purchase and do significant renovation to the house and sell it to an end user retail buyer. This is rehabbing. Very often when you wholesale, you're going to sell it to a rehabber. The third option is something that I discovered only a few years ago, and it has probably made me over $1 million in the last few years, and I wish I had figured it out sooner. The third option is called wholesaling, and it's a cross between wholesaling and rehabbing, which is really selling the property to a retail buyer. This happens when I buy a property and I do nothing to it, or almost nothing to it, and sell it to a retail end user buyer. I look at every potential deal when I'm talking to a seller in these 3 ways. What price can I buy it for at wholesale? If I have to close on it and rehab it, I look at it at what's the ARV, the after repaired value, and I also look at what is the value right now or close to right now. These are the 3 ways I look at every single property before I come up with my offer. And I can teach you to do it too. The same 3-step formula has helped me sell over $60 million in real estate in the last few years. And now that you know what to do, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. The course is called the Wholesaling and Flipping Properties in New York course. There are 9 modules or lessons plus some bonuses, and it's everything you need to start doing business in New York. How to marketing, making offers, estimating repairs, how to find buyers, when to start looking for them, which is very different than what a lot of people are teaching out there. How to find service providers like attorneys and contractors, how to start on a very small budget and eventually grow your business. How to get paid, what to do before, during, and after the closing. How to make money, basically. And it's one payment of $762.30, which is a discounted price you're getting through here. Or you can do 2 payments of $389. I started investing in 2004, and in 2012, I wanted to expand my business. And I bought a course for over $1,000 from an investor in Ohio. What I quickly realized was that real estate in New York was vastly different than the rest of the country. It took me a while to figure it out, but when I did, I finally grasped that real estate in New York has some challenges, but there are a lot of reasons why it's better in New York too. And there are a few examples of why it's better in New York. Investing in New York real estate is better because you make a lot more money here. I average over $30,000 on my wholesale deals. A lot of very hot areas like Phoenix, you're lucky if you make $8,000 on a wholesale deal. Investing in New York real estate can be challenging. There are issues like attorneys. The seller's attorney has to draw up the contract. Investing in New York real estate can be challenging because there's no inspection contingencies. You have to go into that contract and close. People teach all over the internet that you can just have this inspection contingency and get out. But in New York, the inspection gets done before the contract, and no seller's attorney is going to allow his client to go into contract with some kind of contingency that lets people walk. Investing in New York real estate is better because there's much less competition. And people are shocked when they hear this. But there are so few people that are doing this business in any kind of systematic way, it's unbelievable. My area is Long Island. Nassau and Suffolk County is almost 3 million people. I don't know more than 3 or 4 people that are doing this in any kind of systematic way out of 3 million people. As opposed to, let's say, a city like Birmingham, Alabama, which is 200,000 people. I know 15 people doing it there, and there's probably 50 more. There's much, much, much less competition in New York. Much less. And when I finally understood the pros and cons of investing in New York, I'm happy to be one of the few people in my market that do it in any kind of sizable, systematic way. This understanding has allowed me to build a 7-figure business and have the freedom to work when I want. I've now gone on to use this exact formula to sell over $60 million of real estate in just a few years. And now I'm giving you the whole enchilada. But it gets better because there's 0 risk. You love the course or you keep it free. The price is normally $847. I'm definitely going to raise that price soon. But you can have it today for 10% off, just $762.30, or 2 payments spaced out monthly for $389. Claim your copy now and save 10%. With the discount and the love it or keep it free guarantee, you really can't lose. Click the button below to get started today.